to be standing in front of you all today. Before I begin, I'd like to thank the orientation leaders and everyone in residence life, new student programs, and physical plant for their hard work over the past few weeks. I have been so impressed with your organization and commitment to this incoming class. We are off to a great start. Now, I'd like to talk to those of you who are incoming students. You are probably asking questions like, should I take 4 or 5 classes this semester? Where is the housing office? Would you recommend this professor? And who is this Roberta everyone's so excited to see? Tomorrow, courses begin. You will notice that some students in the classroom will ask questions, and some students will not. Before I came to Hampshire, I was the type of student who didn't ask a lot of questions in front of my peers. Instead, I would write my questions down during class and approach the professor afterwards. At Hampshire, that all began to change. I noticed myself becoming less concerned about saying the right thing. I noticed that I was becoming more comfortable with asking whatever question was on my mind. So how did this happen? The change began a couple weeks into my second semester. I attended an education workshop, and the presenter began by discussing literacy across the U.S. After about 5 minutes, a Hampshire student raised her hand and asked the presenter to define literacy. In my own mind, I thought that the answer was obvious. What could literacy be other than the ability to read and write? But then the questioner began to explain the different ways in which we can define literacy. This led me to Wikipedia. I was astounded at how much information there is on just the word literacy. Not only is there literacy that refers to reading and writing, but there's also visual literacy, which includes the ability to understand symbols, pictures, maps, videos, and body language. I began thinking about how the definition of literacy can change depending on who you are. From that day forward, I was no longer afraid to slow things down in the classroom. I realized how valuable questions could be. I also realized how important it is for both the professor and all students to be engaged in the same conversation. If students don't ask these kinds of questions, then the classroom won't feel as comfortable. If that student hadn't asked the presenter to define literacy on that day, I might have written my speech about how you should never leave your Ben & Jerry's in your dorm lounge unless you want to get it stolen. Before I conclude, I want to share something else that I wish I could have learned in my first year. Michael Drucker, who is a Division III student, said something about respect that I will always remember. He said that respect is something that you have to earn from your peers at Hampshire. It isn't something that is automatically given to you simply because you are a student at the same college. I look forward to all of you earning and showing that respect. In my own experience, the courage to ask the hard questions outside of the classroom connects to gaining respect on campus. When I first arrived, I was surprised to see posters for dialogues on race, social class, and gender. Did people at Hampshire really talk about these things? Yeah, and they still do. My advice to you is to attend one or more of these dialogues. If you speak your truth and don't make assumptions, you're starting at the right place. Finally, I would like to share a short quote from Norton Juster, who served as a professor for architecture and environmental design at Hampshire College. This quote from his children's book, The Phantom Tollbooth, is about the fear of being wrong. "It has been a long trip," said Milo, climbing onto the couch where the princesses sat. "But we would have been here much sooner if I hadn't made so many mistakes. I'm afraid it's all my fault." "You must never feel badly about making mistakes," explained Reason quietly, "as long as you take the trouble to learn from them. For you often learn more by being wrong for the right reasons than you do by being right for the wrong reasons." Thank you.